Imagine stepping into a car in 1984 and feeling like you just entered a spaceship. That's exactly what the 1984 Camaro Berlinetta delivered. While most cars still had old-school gauges, this Camaro shocked the world with its glowing digital dashboard and futuristic control pods. Mounted on the steering wheel, it wasn't the fastest Camaro of the era. That crown went to the Z28, but it was the boldest. Buyers in the 80s wanted something new, something exciting, and Chevy gave them a taste of tomorrow. For some, it felt strange. For others, it was pure magic. Today, collectors remember the Berlinetta as one of the most unique Camaros ever made. A true symbol of 1980s innovation. Was it ahead of its time or just a wild experiment? Let's find out in the story of the 1984 Camaro Berlinetta. The year was 1984. By now, the third-generation Camaro was gaining a lot of attention. The 1982 and 1983 models had already set the stage with sharp styling and lighter design. But Chevrolet wanted something new for 1984 that would stand out from the crowd. Muscle cars were no longer just about speed and power. Buyers in the mid-80s wanted technology, comfort, and futuristic features. That's when Chevrolet gave the Camaro Berlinetta its biggest personality upgrade. The 1984 Berlinetta was not about raw horsepower like the Z8. Instead, it was marketed as the luxury Camaro, a car built for style and high-tech appeal. Its most famous addition was the digital futuristic dashboard, something that looked straight out of a spaceship compared to the traditional gauges found in most muscle cars. Inside the Berlinetta, drivers were greeted by a glowing digital speedometer and tachometer, instead of needles and dials. Bright digital numbers told you how fast you were going, while bar graphs showed engine RPMs. To many car fans, it felt like the Camaro had jumped straight into the future. The dash even had extra displays for fuel, temperature, and other vital stats. It was the kind of feature that made passengers say, "Wow, this is straight out of a sci-fi movie." But the Berlinetta didn't stop there. It introduced a unique control pod system mounted on the steering wheel. Two pods sat on either side, almost like gaming controllers, letting the driver control wipers, headlights, and radio without moving their hands far. In the 1980s, this was groundbreaking. It was the kind of technology that made Berlinetta owners feel like they were piloting a machine, rather than just driving a car. On the outside, the 1984 Camaro lineup didn't change dramatically. The styling still kept the sharp lines, long hood, and hatchback rear that defined the third generation. The Z8 remained the performance star, with its stripes, spoilers, and V8 power. The base model still offered affordability, but the Berlinetta stood out as the high-tech, comfort-first Camaro. It was marketed toward drivers who wanted something more futuristic than just muscle. Under the hood, the Berlinetta could be ordered with the 2.8L V6 or the 5.0L V8. It wasn't the fastest Camaro, but it was never meant to be. The point of the Berlinetta was innovation. Chevrolet wanted to prove that the Camaro could be more than just a dragstrip warrior. It could be stylish, futuristic, and even a little luxurious. Of course, not everyone loved the digital dash. Some traditional muscle car fans thought it was too gimmicky. The glowing numbers and control pods felt unusual compared to the tried-and-true analog gauges. Still, the Berlinetta's interior was a bold step forward. Today, collectors look at the 1984 Berlinetta as one of the most unique Camaros ever built, a true time capsule of 1980s design. What makes the 1984 Camaro so special is that it shows how flexible the Camaro brand really was. Chevy could make a raw performance car like the Z28, and at the same time, offer a futuristic luxury version like the Berlinetta. It gave buyers choice. And it showed that Camaro was adapting to the fast-changing car world of the 1980s. Looking back, the 1984 Berlinetta may not have been the most powerful Camaro, but it was one of the boldest. Its digital dash was ahead of its time. Today, Digital dashboards are everywhere, from economy cars to supercars. But back in 1984, this was a feature that blew people's minds. In a way, the Berlinetta predicted the future. For Camaro fans, the 1984 model year proves that innovation is just as important as horsepower. The Berlinetta's digital dash, futuristic controls, and unique personality made it stand apart in Camaro history. Whether you loved it or thought it was strange, one thing is certain, you can never forget it. The Camaro Berlinetta of 1984 remains a true symbol of the 1980s. Bold, experimental, and futuristic. It wasn't about breaking speed records. It was about making drivers feel like they were driving tomorrow's car, today, and in that sense, the 1984 Camaro Berlinetta was a success.